As far as, it does seem like the Republican Party generally has a real problem with winning. It certainly was in the midterms here and now in this one as well. And you wonder, do we have the right people in place to be putting the messaging together to the people that are supposed to be there to get the early vote out, to do these jobs? You wonder about the RNC. Do we have the right people running the show? Because we're not doing something right. I think that's very obvious.
Yeah, Rob, I think you're right in a lot of places. I would say these state level races, RNC doesn't really play a role in voter turnout. That's run by the team on the ground. And that in Virginia is led by Glenn Youngkin. And he made an admirable effort to push more Republicans to get out earlier and vote, with the ultimate goal of having more people voting for Republican candidates. But it's not been enough.
Well, it only took the 2018 midterms, the 2020 general election, the 2022 midterms, and these 2023 off-year elections, watching the Republicans lose, for them to realize, hey, hold on, maybe something isn't working for us. And yet, here's the caveat. They don't actually bother changing anything. If you want to know the definition of cognitive dissonance, it is them witnessing their own downfall in real time, only for them to double and triple and quadruple down on the very thing actually causing their downfall, which is their allegiance to Trump and Trumpism. The same people who acknowledge that Republicans can't win elections will immediately then turn around and pledge their undying loyalty to Donald Trump himself. It's like these people can't figure out why it's so hot before then diving headfirst into an active volcano. And that willful blindness is put on full display in this very clip, where the Newsmax host actually wonders whether the issue here is the RNC. As if the RNC, or any Republican group, isn't just an offshoot of Donald Trump. I mean, my God, Ronna McDaniel Romney, the RNC chair, took Romney out of her name because he clashes with Donald Trump. If the RNC is doing anything, it is because it's got the blessing of Trump himself, period. And so the fact that they are so blinded by their loyalty to the guy that they can't even figure that out goes to show that it will never change. And by the way, for those watching right now and saying, shut up, don't give the game away, the game has been given away since 2018 that Donald Trump is absolutely kryptonite on the ballot. Again, he oversaw the Democrats' biggest House margin of victory in 2018 during the midterms. In 2020, he himself lost by 7 million votes and lost both chambers of Congress. In 2022, in what was supposed to be the Republicans' big red wave year, they managed a paltry 5-seat victory in the House and again failed to take back the Senate. And now, in 2023, aside from a raft of special elections in which the Democrats are overperforming by an average of 10 points, these off-year elections just saw Democrats take both chambers of the state legislature in Virginia, keep the governor's seat in deep red Kentucky, win a Supreme Court seat in swing state Pennsylvania, win both ballot measures in Ohio, and actually be competitive in Mississippi. Americans are soundly and consistently rejecting Trumpism, but the problem is that Republicans are bought in 100%. This is like trying to tell Hershey's that people don't like chocolate. That's all they've got. They don't exist without chocolate, just like how the Republican Party doesn't exist without Donald Trump. They sold their soul to the guy in 2016, and they are stuck with him now. You gotta love, too, how in the initial clip, Ken Cuccinelli says that Youngkin made an admirable effort to turn out more Republicans to get out earlier and cast their ballots. Yeah, I wonder why that might be an uphill battle for Republicans. Oh, right. It's because Donald Trump spent years undermining the legitimacy of early voting, and his positions are their positions. Again, they hitch their wagons to this guy who is the world's biggest albatross around their necks. And guess what? Nothing will change, because virtually no one has the courage to speak out against him, and the people who do speak out against him are then excommunicated from the party by his acolytes who want to ride his coattails to stardom. So again, I know for the Democrats watching, it might feel counterintuitive to let Republicans know what they're doing wrong, but the answer has been staring them in the face for years, and they will not now nor ever relinquish their fealty to Donald Trump. By the way, it's worth noting that the election in Virginia was largely a referendum on the promised abortion ban by Glenn Youngkin.
As we presented our strategy and what we will absolutely deliver for Virginians, we wanted to be really clear that I support a bill to protect life.
Now, who does that sound like? Oh, right.
I got rid of Roe v. Wade.
I'm the one that got rid of Roe v. Wade.
I was able to do it, and I was very honored to do it.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
There
of course, remains a vital role for the federal government in protecting unborn life.
Nobody has ever done more for right to life than Donald Trump. Roe v. Wade, they won. They finally won.
The Iowa bill was signed, and they wouldn't have been able to do anything if I wasn't able to do what I did.
So again, for the umpteenth time, there is no moderate Republican. There is no anti-Trump Republican. They all sound like him. They all spout his talking points. They all embrace his agenda. The ones who don't are cast out of the party. It really is that simple. And by the way, that point that there doesn't exist moderate Republicans is what I spoke to top voting rights attorney Mark Elias about during our most recent episode of Democracy Watch.
Let me just say something. There is nothing that the mainstream media loves more than a pretend moderate Republican. It's like they're like the bird watchers looking for that species that like they've heard about but they've never seen before. Like they just don't exist. Like Glenn Youngkin was never a moderate Republican. He was never anything other than an anti-choice, anti-education, bigot, MAGA Republican. And so that's what he'll go down in history as. He was, he has been a terrible governor for the Commonwealth of Virginia. I live in the Commonwealth of Virginia, but we need to get out of our mindset as we head towards 2024. We need to get out of our mindset that somehow we are going to be rescued by this, as I said, this bird we have never seen before.
And of course, to see more episodes of Democracy Watch, make sure to subscribe to this channel. So look, the problem will persist for Republicans, arguably so long as Donald Trump has breath in his body. Because on one hand, they handed him the keys to the kingdom. That party quite literally doesn't even have a platform anymore. That's how beholden they are to whatever errant synapses fire in his brain that results in some incoherent screed falling out of his face, that whatever he says is their position too. They are inextricably linked now. And on the other hand, anyone who dares acknowledge that objective reality, that he is their downfall, goes the way of Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger and Mitt Romney. They would rather bury their heads in the sand than ever acknowledge that their God King might actually be bad for them. So with 2024 right around the corner, and with Donald Trump as the likely nominee, get ready for more cognitive dissonance around what their electoral problems stem from. And maybe they'll replace Ronna McDaniel, maybe they'll replace some other officials who they'll blame all of their problems on, but the rest of us can very clearly see what the problem is. And if that means the Democrats will continue to win elections because the GOP's undying fealty to their savior is too much for them to overlook, then so be it. After all, there's nothing I enjoy more than these fleeting moments of begrudging acceptance from Republicans that since Trump overtook their party, all they've been doing is losing. Before you go, I need some help. Please subscribe to the channel and do your part to help grow the progressive media ecosystem. I don't do sponsorships or paid ads, I won't ask for money, but just subscribing to this channel goes a really long way, and it helps get the message out to more people. The subscribe button is right here on the screen. You can also subscribe to my Spanish language channel, which I made to reach those crucial Spanish-speaking voters. That link is on the screen too. And finally, if you want to listen to my audio podcast, you can follow that link as well. Thanks so much for watching.